Hi everyone, how are you doing? Thanks for all the love on the little bump, which still is a little bump actually. Very normally it's too sore to massage, but anyway, at least it didn't go purple, green and didn't get swelling under my eyes, so all good in the hood. So the makeup I'm going to do today is a lifting makeup. And there's just a few little techniques that I thought I'd share with you that will just kind of help sort of elevate your face, whether you've got a face like mine, whether you've got a round face, a square face, a broad face, all these little things will all work. So I'm going to start off with a nice base, and because I haven't used any SPF, I'm going to make sure that I use it in my tinted oil-free moisturiser. So this shade is 1W1 Porcelain, which is a funny name actually, because this is actually quite yellow. I forgot my mirror. I'm starting to get some new products coming in, so I'm going to share those with you too. So I'm just going to paste this on literally like a moisturiser, and because I'm doing a nice lifting makeup, I want to get that lovely kind of like skin feel and finish to it. Please also let me know if there's anything that's kind of niggling you at the moment, any kind of burning questions that you've got you'd like me to do a film on. I did chuck on a little brow with my favourite brow. I think I mentioned this last week, the brow blade. I can do a dedicated brow one if you need a bit of a recap. See, now I'm thinking, I wish I'd used a little bit of my James Reed, just because I'm in a nice pale colour, just to give myself a little bit of warmth, but no bother, still look all right. Let's go in with my trusty e.l.f. Camo to cover up my little bit of bruising, and then I can just pat that round the rest of my face where I've got little annoyances. Chin's always slightly red, and just around the nose. And I'll blend that in. Now, I love it to go sort of patchy like that, and then have a little fiddle around, and then get a nice Beauty Pie. This is the seamless foundation brush, and look, just push it in. Actually, I had a girlfriend around the other day, and I said, what you need is a buffing brush. Don't put your concealer on with a big fluffy brush. You had a brush like this. And I was like, oh goodness no, you're going to lose all the product, and you just won't be able to get that nice finish to it. She's like, I love my buffing brush. I think it was just a very small e.l.f. one that she ended up walking out with that she loved the most. But it just really helps. It's one of those things that I've said it before, that so many people put makeup on and then they just wipe it off again, not knowing that they're doing that. But it's an application error that many of us tend to make. So what I'm doing is keeping the most amount of concealer over that centre panel of my bruise, but I'm just feathering the edges. I might need to tie in a little bit of bronzer with that. So I'm looking a bit peachy. Not peachy, I'm looking a bit pale. Let me do that now. I've got a very soft one actually here from Guerlain. I believe this is new, but look how pretty those colours are, especially with what I'm wearing, right? That works really well. I'm not familiar. This is the Terracotta Light, Claire Rose. I'm sorry if it's not new. It's just new to me, and I haven't checked. I haven't done my homework, have I? I'm going to take this kind of brush, small brush, whiz it round. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, around the hairline, great. And also that's going to break up that little bit of concealer. So because we're doing the lifting makeup, I want you all to sort of look in the mirror and kind of imagine that you've got like a big, really strong, tight ponytail up. So everything is going to go up like this. So we're not going to have anything that's round and soft. We're going to be going up, which is kind of easy to see on my face because I had loads of teeth taken out, hence why I've got the cheekbones. But I want you to just kind of really have this kind of action when applying your blush, or in this case, bronzer. Oh look, I haven't done my pigmentation. Oh well, that's lucky my hair covers it. It's actually getting worse there. I'm going to have a bit more laser if I can find the time. And so we're going up, 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 and just on this outside, up, 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 just filling this area here, just to really kind of get that shape lifted, 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 lifted. And you can still get the warmth on the top of the cheek, whereas normally I'd sort of colour in, you know, the front of my cheeks to give me that healthy finish, but that's not the vibe of today. And a little bit under the chin. Really nice, really beautiful bronzer. Look how delicate that is. Let's do a little bit across my nose, just a little bridge across my nose, just to soften that slightly. Jolly good. Right, let's brush the brows and see how they're looking. Not bad. Might just put a little bit of a tail in there. Right, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to use one of my Jones Road face pencils. Have you seen these? Have you bought them? Have you liked them? What do you think? They're a little bit drying for me all over. They're really good for spot concealing, I find. Actually, if I had the other colour, I could just literally paint over that area. In fact, it's really bothering me now. No, it's not. I'm just going to ignore it because I've already put the bronzer on. Okay, so this is the shade. This is the lightest shade, actually. No, it's shade 3. I tell a lie. Another one. And I'm going to put this just under my brow, just under the arch. So you can see it's slightly lighter than my base colour. And the consistency is quite thick, right? Just want to bring that brow up like that. With a small but firm brush. This is a really nice brush brand called Rèphr, R-E-P-H-R. Rèphr. I'm really sorry if I probably pronounced that wrong. Now I'm going to use this just to push the product underneath the brow to soften it. But what I love about this Jones Road pencil in this particular area of my face is that it really lasts and I don't need to powder it. And what this does is it just sharpens the brow. So when you come to do a little bit of inking, just very delicately, just because my tail always disappears, it just kind of gives you a nice guide and strengthens up the base of the brow. So along here, I'm just going to fill in these little bit. My brows tend to be a little bit more patchy. It changes just the growth pattern of the hair, it's annoying. Let's just pull that out very, very delicately with the inks. It's a really nice colour on me as well. Good, okay. Now, I'm going to use the Trish Mcevoy Instant Eye Lift. This is literally one of her cult products. This is shade, I think it comes in 3 shades. Forgive me, I don't know what shade this is. It's the lightest one. I think there's only 3. And I'm going to place this right in here. Now I don't need it under my eye here because look, there's nothing to cover, is there? But I do need it here. And with this lifting makeup, what I'd like you to do is get your lightest concealer and take a line from the under corner of your eye out and then keep it there. So it's out here. So none of the makeup that we use today is going to go further than that. So we're not going to do like a soft kind of like smoky eye. We're just going to do a lovely shape to the eye, but keeping it on top of this concealer. And by doing the concealer like this, it can really help you gauge where you're putting your colour, because sometimes you sort of forget and we tend to go down. Okay, so let's, nice warm fingers, and push that into that area. It's really, really soft, and Trish, obviously, she's at the helm of her brand. She's in her mid-70s. She uses this. She knows how makeup sits on older skins. You can feather that underneath it if you like, but just keep that there for me now. Now I thought I would do, oh, I've messed it up. I've messed up my little theory for today. Well, not my theory, but I was going to use the whole look doing the Charlotte Tilbury palette, and I've already used the Terracotta blusher. But anyway, you'll bear with me, right? I just thought it'd be really nice to use one of these palettes, and I can do more of them if you like, just to do one complete look, because they're so handy, aren't they, for the kit, and such beautiful colours. So I'm going to go in with the number 2 Eye Smoke first. I'm going to use this brush number 01. Now I'm going to place it very softly across all the lid, because it's really soft and flattering with what I'm wearing. But look, I'm just going to make sure that I only lift it along that line of the eye. You can see already, just with the juxtaposition of the shadow and the concealer, how that gives me obviously a very sort of inflated look with my eye. Lifted, inflated? Lifted. As we are doing lifted makeup. That happens, poof, automatically. And as that blends into the Jones Road pencil, look at, I mean, look, that's just really creating something fabulous. Obviously we've got to blend it. And that's just with the one shade. Maybe I won't do any more. I can do another look with the whole palette. It'll be my challenge for the following week. How are you all? I hope you're doing well. Anyway. And just blend that in, making sure that you always knock. You see now, I've got this big patch of cool tone here. You want to just use the bit of that residue off the brush just to soften, just to knock it back slightly, but not go further than there. Okay, good. Right. All right, so I'm going to take a slight socket brush. Let me use this one here. So it's slightly beveled. Let me just change the focus so you can see. So it's slightly pointy. And I'm going to go in with the Eye Smoke shade, which is number 3. The name of this palette is Pretty Blush Beauty. And I'll tell you what, these are great for brides. If you're getting married, it's a really lovely bridal palette. And then you can give it to your bridesmaids and they can wear it. Now, as that blends in, see how that instant eye lift just melts, really melts into the skin. So now I'm going to take this and I'm just doing it at the top, just at the top, literally it's about 2 centimeters in length and no further. I'm not bringing it down, nothing is going down. So I'm really pushing this darker color right in there, and the same on the other side. So you can see I'm really starting to look nice and perky. Had a few things out for today's makeup, but I wasn't sure which way it was to go. It's nice and cloudy here. Well, it's obviously not nice and cloudy. I love the sun. I'm a real sun worshipper and lover, but for makeup it's quite nice when it's like this. Great. Nice. Okay. And then just to make sure that everything's soft and subtle, just take that brush that you used with the first colour and go over it so it fuses everything together, and that's the kind of way to kind of know that you are getting that professional finish, that it's not just block of colour set on the eye. Right, I don't often do this, curl my eyelashes, but I've found these really nice Tweezerman eyelash curlers. I've often used the Shimura ones or the Kevin Aucoin ones at work, and I've found that they've been really great for me. Doing it on other people, I think I'm much more used to it because I'm all right with my own eyes because I can actually get the tips of my eyelashes up. The Tweezerman ones have 2 shapes, one for much longer eyes, narrower, maybe sort of Asian eyes, smaller eyes, and then one for more oval eyes. It just means that this is more oval and that's more straight, but these fit in and they're so comfy. I literally cannot pinch my skin. I think I did something on YouTube about it. YouTube? We're on YouTube. That'll be Instagram. I tried the other shape on. Oh, I tried and I tried and I tried and I just thought, no, giving up. Obviously because they didn't fit, but it kept trying to pinch my skin, which is awful. So if you have tried with eyelash curlers and you've never found a fit, then maybe this might be a good option for you. Good. Very exciting new mascara to show you, everybody. Look at this baby. Obviously, favourite colour. And this is by Byredo, and they do have beautiful fragrances. In fact, I got Mixed Emotions over lockdown. Very apt. A friend got it for me. And I wasn't really sure because it really wasn't me. Obviously it was, because I had very mixed emotions like most of us. But everyone's given me so many compliments about it. It's now my new favourite fragrance. So thought I would try their new mascara. Now this is the volumizing one. Very nice, short, moulded brush, which I love. Slightly curved, which I love. Not too curved. And I love the consistency of this mascara. It's not cheap, it's an investment mascara. But it doesn't move. It doesn't, well, you wouldn't expect it to, right? I think they're £37. But it stays lifted. And the consistency of the mascara, if I could just finish my sentence and not drift off on some other way, is quite, I don't want to say thick, because that's going to put you off, but it's solid enough to be able to get the lift, whereas I hate watery mascaras. But then if you've got very thick long lashes, you might prefer something a little bit more diluted. But for me, who needs a bit of welly to their makeup to kind of, woof, give me that sort of like wide awake finish, bit of a pick-me-up, this is great. And obviously, the colour is right up my street. We've got a couple of other ones too. So because we're lifting, I am going to be just placing this on my top lashes only, because I want everything to go up. In fact, what it might be quite nice, I should have done a before and after, just to show you the difference. I'll see whether I can capture a picture from before. Well, as I started filming, I might have a face like this, but you'll get the gist, just to see the difference. I think that's quite a nice way to show you as well. And the great thing about, oh yes, I love this. Very nice. The great thing about, again, I'm not finishing my sentence, it's about a nice sort of rich mascara in pigment and in texture, is it gives you that sort of instant eyeline effect. Right, I've got a really lovely lid tint here. It's by a lady called Gillian Dempsey. She's an American makeup artist. And I just wanted to use this as my highlighter. It's slightly cooler than the Sculpted by Amy one. But because it's slightly cooler and not warm, because I am pale, I thought it would work quite well. And I'm just placing it in these areas to wake me up and to be lifted. And just over that waterline where we get really dark, look how lovely that is. Just so, so subtle. I was going to put it on the lid, but actually I'm not. I just love the warmth across my eyes. I don't really want to move that around with a grease product or a balm product, should I say. And then I'm going to just do it literally here. Not too much at the front of my face, just to blend in with that nice bronzer. And then I use a little bit of the, oh, it's catching the light. Anyway, that's the Trish Mcevoy Instant Light. See, it's such a good product. That's why it's won so many awards. And you know what? Maybe I could blend it a little bit better as well, because the light's so soft. I'm yapping away. Yeah, that's really, really nice. That classy as well. So if you've got a paler, cooler skin, this shade, oh, it's a lid tint. Oh, really sorry, Gillian, I've used the wrong one. See, can't read that either. My glasses are in the other room. Anyway, it's a skin tint. It's a very lovely tint that will give you a nice highlight to your skin, and also it's firm. I don't like things that sort of spread too much. I like little that's pigmented and things that stay in place. Right, stop yabbering on. Let's go in with, so they've got like a face light here. I'm not keen of the powdery highlights. It's still very soft, but just for my skin I prefer a cream. So I'm going to go in with this lovely pinky peachy colour, the angle brush. And again, I'm just going to place it just, it's really nice and pigmented. So I'm just going to soften that slightly, and I'm keeping it all outside. I mean, when I say outside, outside of my face, yeah, not the front. And just a tiny, tiny area, you know. Now, I made a mistake, taking that too, you see what this nice height here. I should have used a smaller brush, you know. Let's go back in with, no, we just need to blend it out, Caroline. Let's blend it out. Let's get a nice clean brush. These are lovely, these brushes, 05. And just soften that down, that's better. Soften, soften, soften. It's kind of reading more in camera, I think, than it does actually in the mirror. But we don't want a real stripy, theatrical finish to this look. It looks much softer in the mirror, but that's definitely better. And you want to kind of just put a little bit on the jaw, just to kind of add more sharpness there. Lovely! So within this palette as well, you've got the bronzer, you've also got a face powder, and you've got a lovely shimmery look there. But I can do a whole look with that another time if you fancy. I know she's got a few of these palettes. For my uplifting lipstick, I wanted to use the shade 112 from Shiseido. They have such lovely balmy lips, and you know I'm a sucker for a kind of orangey coral. This is just delicious. And again, it's nice if you're wearing something neutral, like I am, you can afford to have like a nice strong pop of colour. And this just feels like a balm. Now I just have to run my finger just over my top line so I haven't got any movement of pigment, because this is a little bit more soft. This texture is more soft than I would normally wear. So I just have to kind of almost push back my top lip. Another colour on there. So there she is, an uplifted Caroline. Quite nice makeup to sort of like follow along with, I think. Just those subtleties of the brow and lifting this eye area is so key to keep us looking sort of more youthful and lifted and more awake, especially if we've had like 3 hours sleep. Oh God, those days, I hate them. Sleep is everything, right? Sleep is everything. And I wish you a wonderful week of sleep, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.